The secret she kept at the wedding. I found out my granddaughter got married when I saw it on Facebook. Not an invitation. Not a phone call. A tagged photo from a stranger. I'm Carol. I'm 63. And I haven't spoken to my family in 7 years. That's not entirely true. I've tried to speak to them, but every Sunday dinner invitation I extended got a polite, "We're busy," or "Maybe next time." I thought they were the ones keeping me out. Until I saw those wedding photos. And then I understood. I was the one who walked away. I just never realised I'd done it. Let me take you back to the beginning. The moment everything broke. 7 years ago. Thanksgiving 2016. My son Michael called me crying. His wife Sarah had discovered he'd been having an affair with someone from work. "Mum, I messed up. I don't know what to do." And here's what I told him. "Son, you wouldn't have strayed if she was meeting your needs. Maybe this marriage isn't working." I believed I was helping him. I believed I was being a good mother. 3 weeks later, Thanksgiving dinner at my house. The tension was unbearable. My granddaughter Emily, 18, home from college, barely looked at me. Sarah sat there silent, barely eating. I was trying to lighten the mood. I said, "Emily, honey, you dating anyone at school? Just don't get tied down too young like." And I glanced at Sarah. "Well, you know." Sarah stood up without a word and left the room. Emily's face turned red. "Grandma, what is wrong with you?" "What? I didn't say anything." "You've been taking shots at Mum all night. Dad cheated on her, and you're acting like it's her fault." "Emily, you don't understand adult relationships." "I understand that you hate my mother. I understand that you only care about Dad." My voice went cold. "Don't you dare speak to me that way." "Why not? You speak to my mum that way. You always have." Michael stood up then. His voice was quiet. Broken. "Mum, just stop." "Excuse me?" "Sarah didn't make me cheat. I did that. Me. And she forgave me. We're in therapy. We're trying to save our marriage." He looked at me with tears in his eyes. "And you've been rooting for us to fail since our wedding day." "That's not." "It is, Mum. You called Sarah a gold digger at our wedding reception. Emily heard you. Did you know that? Your granddaughter heard you say that about her mother." I felt the room tilt. "We're leaving," Michael said. "Don't call unless you're ready to apologise to my wife." They walked out. And I stood there, surrounded by cold food and silence, thinking I didn't do anything wrong. They're overreacting. They'll come back. They never did. The months passed. Christmas cards arrived generic, store-bought, no personal notes. Phone calls became texts. Texts became silence. I told myself they cut me off. I was the victim. But that Saturday morning, staring at Emily's wedding photos, I realised something that made my chest cave in. They didn't cut me off. I cut myself off. Every declined invitation, every sarcastic comment, every time I chose being right over being kind. I built the wall myself, brick by brick, and I never even noticed. Monday morning, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Mrs. Patterson, this is Emily." My hands started shaking. "Someone told me you saw the wedding photos." I stared at the screen for 5 minutes before typing back. "Why wasn't I invited?" Her response came immediately. "Because you don't know me, Grandma. You never tried to." I felt something crack inside my chest. "That's not fair. You never reached out either. I was 18. You were the adult. You made me choose between you and my mum. So I chose." I typed with trembling fingers. "Your father told me not to call." "No. Dad said don't call unless you apologise to Mum." "You never did." The words hit me like a slap. Mum and Dad didn't divorce, by the way. They went to therapy. Dad worked on himself. Their marriage is stronger than ever. Another message. You just weren't there to see it. And then the final blow. "Mum says you're welcome at Sunday dinners anytime, but only if you apologise to her first. Really apologise." I set the phone down. 7 years. I'd waited 7 years for them to apologise to me. But what did they owe me an apology for? Oh, God, I thought. I'm the villain in their story. Tuesday afternoon. I did something I never thought I'd do. I drove to Riverside Elementary School and waited in the parking lot. At 3:42, Sarah walked out. 51 now. Greying hair, canvas bags stuffed with papers. Looking tired, I got out of my car. Our eyes met across the parking lot. Neither of us moved for what felt like an eternity. Then I walked toward her. Each step felt impossible. Sarah, she waited. Said nothing. My voice cracked. I came to apologize. Her expression didn't change. I treated you terribly for 20 years. I made you feel like you weren't good enough, like you were an outsider. Tears were streaming down my face now. I blamed you when Michael cheated. I said horrible things at your wedding. I questioned your parenting, your choices, everything. Still, she said nothing. You didn't deserve any of it. You were a good wife, a good mother, a good daughter-in-law. And I was so busy trying to be right that I destroyed everything. The silence stretched between us. Then, quietly, I forgave you a long time ago, Carol. I looked up, shocked. I had to, for my own peace. She shifted her bag. Holding on to that anger was killing me, so I let it go. Then why? I could barely get the words out. Why did you still invite me? Because Emily deserves to know her grandmother. Because Michael deserves to have his mother in his life. Her eyes were sad. Because forgiveness isn't about you winning. It's about me being free. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small, worn book. My therapist gave me this. It changed my life. The Enchiridion by Epictetus. Read the highlighted part. My hands shook as I opened it. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose our response. When you blame others, you give up your power to change. When you take responsibility for your reactions, you become free. Sarah's voice was gentle. I couldn't control how you treated me, Carol, but I could control how I responded. I chose forgiveness. I chose peace. I chose freedom. She looked at me. Really looked at me. You've spent 7 years waiting for us to come back, waiting for us to prove we need you. Her voice wavered. But the only person keeping you out is you. Tears fell onto the pages. I can't give you back 7 years, Sarah whispered. I can't give you Emily's graduation, her engagement, her wedding. Those moments are gone, she paused. But this Sunday, dinner's at 6. You're invited. You've always been invited. Sunday, 5:58 p.m. I sat in my car outside Michael's house. Through the window, Michael setting the table, Sarah laughing, Emily and her husband, a kind-faced man I've never met, bringing food from the kitchen. A family, complete without me. I could leave right now, I thought. Drive home. Pretend this never happened. But then I remembered. Sarah's words. When you take responsibility for your reactions, you become free. For 7 years, I'd been in prison. A prison of pride, of self-righteousness, of needing to be right. And I was so tired. Emily opened the door. 7 years of silence hung between us. Then she spoke, her voice quiet but not unkind. Hi, Grandma. My voice broke. Hi, sweetheart. Come in. Dinner was awkward. I sat at the end of the table a guest, not the matriarch, but Sarah smiled at me, a real smile. Carol, could you pass the bread? Of course. Such small words, such ordinary moments, but to me, they felt like resurrection. As I was leaving, Sarah walked me to the door. Thank you for coming. Thank you for... I struggled. For giving me another chance. She handed me the book again, open to a different page. How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? The time is now. Stop making excuses. Choose freedom now. Her eyes were gentle. You've waited 7 years, Carol. Don't wait anymore. Even after everything I did, especially after everything you did. Because that's what love is. Choosing each other over and over, even when it's hard. I clutched the book to my chest. I don't know how to be different.
Then practice, she said simply.
Practice showing up. Practice apologizing. Practice listening. Practice choosing kindness over being right. She squeezed my hand. The woman you were isn't the woman you have to be. I walked to my car. Sat there for a moment. Opened the book one more time. Epictetus wrote, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." I looked back at the house. Light glowed from the windows. For 7 years, I'd been right and utterly, completely alone. Now I had a choice. Be right or be loved. I took out my phone. "Same time next Sunday?" Sarah's response came immediately. "We'll set a place for you." The end. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose our response. When you take responsibility for your reactions, you become free. Epictetus, the Enchiridion. Circa 125 AD. The hardest prison to escape is the one we build ourselves. The longest journey is from being right to being loved. And sometimes freedom begins the moment we stop blaming others and start choosing connection. I'm really glad we could share and learn together through this video today. Don't forget to subscribe and like. See you next time.